Hey, everybody. Hey, 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 hey. I hope you guys had a great day. I had a really good, productive day and excited to get into some conversation tonight that I think is really, really important to kind of tune into. If you have been following me at all, I'm not playing about this real estate and acquiring territory and property, not just for myself, but for my clients, and really see probably I think that it's still quite alarming that less than they said that home ownership has not grown since segregation. I mean, that's still my in 2024. Look at how much I believe the Africans have really grown in significant strides in education and entertainment and sports. I mean, it's like across the board, really. But we still got, a way to go, but I want people to know that it's very much possible for them. It's going to take a commitment, dedication, but the wealth equity gap is through equity. You got to be able to own your own property, and not just own your own property, but I also want you guys to be in a position where you can really start to own property with tenants in there. And I know we talk a lot about buy and flip, which I definitely believe in buy and flips. I like buy and flips. I do buy and flips, but really the long game is going to be you. I want in the comments right now, savvy investor. Go ahead and put in the comments, investor. See how you grow. You grow, and so we're going to get to one my community. Just to give a backdrop, I got started in 2007. I had been wanting to get involved in real estate for a while. I'd owned my own homes and stuff like that, but I promise you, I just didn't know anything. Honest to God, I didn't know where I should buy. I didn't know how to buy. I didn't know how to find a good property. I didn't know how to flip. I didn't know how to get tenants. When I say like zero, nothing, all I knew is that I had a dream of being a real estate, like, super sexy, super, but I really didn't even know or anything like that. I knew money, I knew business, but I really didn't understand real estate. And I was talking to my chief operator, and I was telling her, I'm getting real estate, and we were in some Detroit and Impact. One of the guys that was on the camera, she said he is really killing it in real estate. And he's helping, we got the same spiritual father, and he's really helping, Bishop Jackson killing in real estate. And he's doing phenomenal. And I was like, oh, I need to talk to him. So I remember getting his number, calling and saying, hey, can you help your sister out? I see what you're doing in real estate. I see what you're doing for Bishop Jackson and yourself. I would love it if you can mentor me. And he said, yeah, absolutely. I can mentor you. He's be honest. No, at his word. I trusted him for the work that he did. Got involved, and I remember I bought my property, my rental property. It was actually on a land in Ecorse. It was a single family, and I bought that for little or nothing. And I had a tenant in there pay me every single month until the land contract was complete. It took them about 3 years to pay it. And it was sweet because when you do a land contract, they're responsible for the insurance. They're responsible for the property taxes. They're responsible for utilities. If any repairs need to happen, they're responsible for that. And then, but I was getting that monthly payment with no real responsibility. I was like, ooh, this. And so shortly I was doing another deal, Carolyn. And I really didn't have systems set up. He was really good at identifying properties and helping me get, tenants. And even that was a little on the ghetto side. we weren't really doing property manager that actually I was using a brother who we went to the same church, and he was, knocking on the door. Hey, Keisha, Jewel want her money. It was really ran kind of ghetto. But what really impressed me, honestly, is that even with it being ran ghetto, I built a very strong 7-figure portfolio and was bringing in a significant amount of cash flow every single month, even with all the systems and things like that not being put together. So in 2020, in 2017, I did a lot of this stuff, and then I was building and making millions of dollars in cryptocurrency. So I really didn't have a strong focus on real estate at the time. And so then in 2020, I started kind of getting back into it a little bit. And then 2022 kind of just went full fledged in wanting to buy multifamilies and also single families, multifamilies to put tenants in, and then single families to do flips. And so I've been blessed to get really, really good at it. We're doing just some phenomenal things in the real estate, not just for myself, for my community. And I asked one of my ladies to come on today. Her name is Sanders. Hey, Lucy. But Lucy is on tonight, and I'm really excited for her possibilities are. I want you to a little bit of numbers, but I want you to know what the possibilities are and exactly what can happen for you. So, Lucy, what's up, girl?
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. And so you're back in Florida now, right?
Yes, we got back
I love it. I
late
love
last
it.
night.
Late last night. All right, great, great, great. I'm excited you got in. Okay, so tell me how long have you been wanting to get in real estate, and what made you reach out to me and our company? How long had you been wanting to get in real estate?
My
Or were
husband
you
and I have
already?
been trying to get in it for, I would say, we're in what, 24 now, since early 2022, but not really knowing, what to do. Actually, no, let me go back. So during COVID, we were thinking about it then, like we really want to get into real estate, but that was also during the times where we were hearing that landlords weren't getting their rent payments. And we were like, okay, wait, do we do this now? Do we wait? And we just decided to wait. Then in 2022, mid 2022, we were like, okay, if we're going to do this, we really need to figure out how to do it. But just talking to people like real estate agents that were kind of not necessarily wanting to share information, but just saying, yeah, if you guys want to do it, then it's a couple of things here, read this, like watch somebody's YouTube and all of that. Um, and not really knowing that we needed guidance and someone to provide us with clear directions and steps that we needed to take. So towards the end of 2022, we actually we talked about the idea of mentorship before, but kind of it went in and out. And finally, at the end of 22, we decided to reach out to a group that was doing a collaborative effort of mentorship, and that didn't go as expected. So towards the end of 23, actually, I learned about another group that you were with through someone that I was doing, potentially going to be doing a venture with. And she was like, listen, this group right here, if real estate is what you want to do, like there's, so many different topics that they discuss. They tell you about, wanting to make sure that your credit is right and talking to people that, have done it before and all of that. And just at that point, from that group starting to actually follow you and see what you were doing. And I was like, wait, if I can just get into the room or have a conversation with her. And through a friend, actually ended up on a phone call with you, and you told me about you starting to Esatate. And I was like, if this is not just all the steps landing right in place, all the tools landing right in place, and joining the team really for me was because I wanted to have someone who had done it before, who was successful, who didn't mind telling me the steps that she took, that things didn't always go perfectly, because that's one thing that people try to do. They try to make it seem like it's going to be perfect, that you're not going to have any issues. They act like it's going to be HGTV when it's not. But with you, you were authentic in everything that you told me. You're like, it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to be here to support you Uh-oh, you must say by mistake. So got with the certified team actually earlier this year. And within, I want to say a month and a half, we had already closed on our first property. Like it had everything lined right up. We had the lenders in place. We had somebody who looked at our credit and was like, "Girl, what are you waiting on?" We had actually multiple lenders that you communicated with and connected us with. But since then, we closed on our buy and hold first. In maybe 3 weeks, and not more than a month later, we closed on our first flip. And like I said, everything just fall right into place. It wasn't any time that I couldn't just pick up the phone and say, "Okay, Jewel, what's happening? What are we doing?" And you are right there. And it's just having that person that it really wants you to see you grow, to see you successful. And again, being genuine about the journey was my thing. Was what was making joining the team wasn't going to be two qualms to me. But now that I'm part of the team, I am so grateful that I took the opportunity to say yes.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you and your husband too. And I think, and that was the thing that I wanted because I felt like there, and I'm glad you kind of said that. I feel like there'd be a lot of gatekeeping sometimes in the world
Yes,
of real estate investing. I'm like, okay, so are you going to give me the tea or are you just going to keep talking around it? You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Like, I need
exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Right,
10.
right.
That's what I wanted to make sure that I provided because I felt like honestly I would have been in real estate earlier
Mm-hmm.
had I not had just some little gatekeeping stuff,
Absolutely.
happen, and I wasn't gonna jump in it until I felt like I had somebody that was gonna for real hold my hand because I know you can make a lot of money with real estate, but you can also lose your shirt. Like it's not a game.
Right,
It's not something you just like, I'm gonna jump into it and try. No, you need to have proper deal evaluation that's actually happening so that you set yourself up because at the end of the day if a deal's not just a deal, right? Make sure it's a real deal, then I got to make sure that the lenders that are going to give me the money that I need to do the deal so
right.
that I'm not having to spend a lot of my own money. There are just so many different aspects of the deal. And I like what you said, Lucy. You said the journey. That's the thing about real estate. Don't just think, oh, okay, I'm gonna go buy this house and I close. That's it.
Oh
You're
no,
just beginning.
we're just getting started.
You're just
Just getting
getting
started.
started. I mean, one of your properties, there was an older couple in it. You got a really great deal on it, but we said, hey, you got a house sitter in here, right?
Right,
And this property to establish that yes, this house couple being now this older couple is gone. Then we had to get a house sitter in there to watch over the property while
right,
still things going on with the property. You're in Florida. And then I pulled up on the part of what I do for the mentorship program. And we walked in there and the house smelled like cigarette smoke. And I was like, I called you and I told the house sitter, like, listen, you can't smoke in here. But
right.
you, investor, had you not had somebody there, on the ground checking on that house could have smelled like smoke. It was blessed because not done. I don't think you had the new floors yet or the paint, but the last
Not
thing
yet.
you want is that. And then we determined, right, not yet. So I was like, okay, you got to get out now because I don't
Mhm.
want this cigarette smoke embedded in the walls and on
In
the
the walls,
floor.
right?
And then we also realized then we needed to get him out too because he was messy. So, but he served his purpose because people saw him. It established his house his own. Nobody, I don't think, ever tried to really break in like that. I think we had a missing key, but I think that was a contractor issue. But I think
Right.
the house sitter accomplished what it needed to accomplish. But that partnership, having that mentor there to walk through that was really, really important. Talk about that because that could have been a little nerve wracking.
Right, because and that was the thing is like you said you told me you're like, yeah, I'm going into Detroit, like when I'm there I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure everything is copacetic. And I was like, okay, well, whenever she has a chance she's gonna do it. And literally it was phone call while I'm at work, and it's like, hey, you got a moment? We need to chat. And I was like, what's up? And you're like, yeah, this house here is not gonna work out. And that's the thing, is that you're gonna have people who say, yeah, I'm gonna mentor you. They're gonna show you, tell you what you need to do. But to have somebody who is legit gonna make sure that she goes and sees about your property, like that took a weight off of my shoulders. Because I was nervous at the beginning. I was like, okay, I know that the team is going to be in place, but who's going to be the boots on the ground for me when I need it? And having you just call me just out the blue and say, I'm here, just want you to be aware of what's happening, and letting me know that, yeah, he served his purpose, but now we need to do something different. That was amazing to me. Because again, being miles and miles away, it's like, okay, yes, I know I have this property, but who's gonna be there who's gonna be my eyes and ears? And then like you talked to the neighbor across the street and was like, hey, just be on the lookout for, for my cousin, and let her know what's happening, and making sure that we know what's going on in the neighborhood, and looking around and seeing what's happening. But that, when I say it was a weight off of my shoulders to to see you on like there, and like getting on FaceTime with you, and looking around and saying, yeah, this is not working out. This is definitely not working out. And like I said, it's easy to say, okay, here's step 1 through 5. But for somebody to be there with you in the trenches and to go and see about your stuff when you can't go, that's what a satisfied provides to you that I don't think that you're going to get anywhere else.
No, like for real, you need, hey, Garland, hey, Joyce, hey, Carolyn, Maisha. Yeah, no, you need like that mentorship, that, hey, I'm really checking on. I had gone to a couple of real estate workshops and conferences, and they were amazing, and it built my confidence. But when it was time to push the button, I still felt very, very much like I need somebody to hold my hand.
Right.
I need somebody. Will you look over this purchase agreement? Can you look and see, is the lender charging me too much? Do things. This, how should I be paying him? Can I trust him? Like there's so many different things that come up when you're investing, even with a good team, even with a property, even with a good location. Recently, your cabinet, we were too long for them to buy your cabinets because that was a part of the deal, but they did finally buy the cabinets. Okay, grateful for that. Okay, because they didn't have to. It was just something they, were just trying to do the right thing to make the deal close. Finally got your cabinets, but then Home Depot made a mistake and ordered the wrong size, right? So talk about, because I like what you said, like, yes, there is a lot of money to be made in real estate, but you have to be patient. Talk about, I guess, because I feel like you are one of the investors that has this a really great attitude. Even if something needs to be fixed, I will respond. Watching me and possibly even other people in the community and freak out all the time. How has that impacted your emotional state, you think, being an investor? Because it's very easy. I know a lot of investors, especially females, who are always upset or always frustrated. And not that we still don't get upset. We've learned that's not the answer. What answer? How do you feel like that's impacted your overall journey?
I think it's resetting, right? Where you say, okay, yes, it's easy to get frustrated. Life is easy to get frustrated, but it's the time period when you're like, okay, how do we move forward from this? Like with the whole cabinet situation, it was, okay, we're dragging this on too much. At this point, what do we need to do to get it done? What is our resolution at this point? Solution is what we need to do, because we tried it this way, it didn't work out. We tried it another way, it didn't work out. So what do we need to do to push forward? And I think that's what people have to remember, where it's not necessarily going to go as expected, but when things don't go as expected, what do? You can't sit there and be mad about it for more than a minute, right? Because at the end of the day, how are we moving forward from this? You being upset about it is not going to change the situation. So let's figure out what we need to do next. And it was just like the contractor was great as well. The contractor that we have is absolutely amazing. When he provided suggestions, he was like, okay, if you want me to do this and go here and do that, then let's do it. Whatever we need to do to get the job done. Because I don't want you to feel as if because this is your first flip that this is going to be like kind of tarnish your experience. So that actually changed the situation as well, because we all of us here, Jewel included, the contractor, we're goal oriented, right? So we can't sit up here and dwell upon a problem. Let's all come together, figure out what the solution is going to be, and let's move forward.
Yeah, no, that's really good. He went out of his way. He, went back and forth to Home Depot, went to one wrong, he did the Home Depot, then went to another, and then, had to wait an hour and just treated you like, you're the only client, which is what I love, like, what, that's what we really try to provide here in the certified community. I don't try to have people that aren't going to give that exclusive, whether it's the title company, whether it's the contractors, whether it's, somebody at the city. We may need to call somebody at the city. We've really tried to make sure that all the people on the team, the realtors, the designers, everybody is really focused on giving a good quality product, because nobody is slumlords over here. We want to make sure that we are responsible now too, tonight is, the importance of really thinking about. I was so excited. So take a look at the cap is really important. Let me see how the guys. Um, right. Maybe. Hopefully, if I do, I will be right back. Let me see here. I want to share that my. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, give me 2 seconds. We about to figure this out. I'm gonna share my screen. This is really gonna help you kind of figure some things out here. All right, let's see. Can you guys see that screen? Okay, it don't want me to be great, child. It don't want me to be great. It don't want me to be great. I know, right? The Wi-Fi. All right, Lucy. Come on here, Lucy. Lucy. Oh, it's not want me to bring you back on. It's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, y'all, just hold. I'm about to see this slide tonight. It's gonna help you get your money right. Okay. All right, now, hey Lucy, it don't want us to be great, girl, but it's okay. All right, now let me see if I can get to that. I want to show you guys this slide on the cap. Really, my Wi-Fi is definitely I don't know why it's doing that tonight. All right, I really had something really cool to show you guys. I want to show you the cap rate. So I'm gonna have to let me walk you through it. Let me walk you through it. Okay. Or what I might do, because this really see this visual aid. If first becoming a part of the Esatate community, go ahead and email support@esatate.com now.com. I'm going to figure this slide out and probably be back on here tomorrow. I'm doing a lunch and learn tomorrow at noon Central, 1 Eastern, with a really powerful property management, because property management is another important part to have as an investor. Okay, so Lucy, let's talk about the cap. The pen and paper, girl. We're gonna just work it out. If it is a good deal on a buy and hold, you're gonna take the purchase price of the overall property. Okay, because when you think about this in the world of investing in stocks and bonds and mutual funds, usually those stocks and bonds are paying anywhere between 4 to 10%. So in real estate, anything technically over 8 to 10% is considered a hit. Okay, because that's going to be your return on your investment. Yeah, over you really so is anything again over 8 to 10% per year, stocks and bonds and mutual funds, good. Okay. And I know the internet is spotty. Just hang in there. I'm going to tell you guys this, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Okay. Now, what you do when you're looking at the cap rate, this is how you determine if this is a good buy and hold or not. You the purchase price of the overall property. Okay. So, Lucy, let's take $100,000 purchase price, just for example. You got that? Take $100,000. So let's just act like the property is selling for $100,000. Okay. And let's just say that the property management, or not property management, but property taxes is $1,200. Okay. So $1,200 is an expense that you know that you have every single year. $1,200. Okay. Then if it's $100,000 house, let's look at the property management fee. The property management fee on a $100,000 house, let's just say it's going to be $80. Okay. I'm figuring that the property management is going to be 6%. Okay. And so if your monthly payment is $1,000 and you're paying 6%, let's just say 8% to be a little higher. Let's just say you're paying $80 a month in property management. You are going to take 80 expense-wise every single year in property management. So let's see, what's 80 times 12?
So 80 times 12 is 960.
Calculator. Okay, so you got 900 tax on that property is $1,200 a year.
Okay.
Okay, so $1,200 a year plus the 80 times 12 plus the insurance. The insurance on that property will probably be about $120 a month. So let's do 120 times 12, which is $1,440.
Mm-hmm.
So let's add up $1,440 plus the $1,200 for the taxes, plus the property management fee.
The 960. Okay.
960. Let's add those three things up.
Okay. I got 3,600.
She got $3,600. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is take 3,600 and let's take the income on that. So the income for $1,000. Let's just say you are making a month. So let's take 1,300 times 12. If you take $1,300 times 12, multiply that, and what is that number?
1,300 times 12,
15.
15,600.
Okay, great. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the expenses, which the total expenses was how much?
3,600.
3,600 divided by the purchase price of 100,000.
So 3,600 divided by 100,000. That's was 3.6%.
Okay, 30 divided by
3,600 divided by 100,000.
Okay, so that's 36% cap rate. You way up.
Okay.
You follow? So we move the decimal over. Okay. So you're literally making 36% is the cap rate on that particular property. That is a complete steal in that scenario. Okay. Because again, what we did is purchase price, which was 100,000, took the property management, 80, multiplied it by 12, gave us the 960, because what we're doing now is adding up our expenses. Then the taxes was $1,200 for the year. Okay. And then we have the insurance, 120 times 12. It's $1,440 for the year. So when we added up all those expenses, it came to $3,600. You take the expenses by purchase price. And that's how we got 36%. That will make you very wealthy. The cap rate, every time you buy, when you think about purchasing property, you don't just think about the equity. That's good. Sometimes people just think about, hey, if I flip it, I'm gonna make capital. Listen, I want you to flip. I flip. Lucy flips. But you got to be thinking the way I really build wealth is cash flow and the cap rate. You have to think about the net operating income after I get done with all that. So if I get 36% here, 20% here, 30% there, 40% there, 50% there, and people that become very, very wealthy in real estate, understand this formula. This formula is not smart. I got a friend of mine right now. She was buying in New Jersey. Guess what? She said New Jersey is now too expensive. I can't make any money in New Jersey because the cap rate is low. You see what I'm saying? It is low. Cap is only important for rate is really only important for your holds. This I'm helping you to find off properties when we're doing deal evaluations. Lucy, I want you to learn that, take notes on that, keep that, because every buy and hold will run through the formula to make sure. The other thing to make sure of is that it follows. I really like 2% or close to 2% rule. That means that whatever your monthly income is that you're making at least 2% of the overall purchase price. So if you buy a house for 100,000 and you making almost 2,000, you up.
Right.
If you buy a house for 100,000 and you're only making $1,000, that's 1%. That's tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ideally, 1,500 is better.
Right.
I'm not so worried, especially if it's only one or two that you're just 1%, because remember, every single year, for the most part, you're going to be able to increase your cash flow, increase that rent. That's right. When you are owning and holding, you want to look to also your revenue and hope by doing things like debt services, garbage services, laundry services, right? Those are things you can look for empty next door, across the street, that you can make a park with swings, name it after your family, create legacy, right? Because those are things that tenants are looking for, those extra amenities that allows you to be able to increase your rent and justify it, because they're like, oh my gosh, my pet, local cleaners and say, I'm a multi 2 blocks. So you guys start servicing it, picking up. Okay, they pick up laundry on Monday. They drop off laundry on Friday. You pay an additional fee for that. All these kind of things can operate and increase your overall revenue for your buy and hold. So you look up, and one buy and hold can really end up changing the game. Really, the way you become wealthy, you really want to get in a and or duplexes. Those are great ways to build up your schedule of property. I hope you got a lot tonight. I want to encourage you to join us now. Email support@esatifiednow.com. When I tell you I'm studying this stuff, I'm on calls every day. We're working with insurance companies right now because we want to offer those in our community better rates, because insurance rates have gone crazy. And you get so that you can and do things that are going to actually help people in whatever demographic you want to serve, whether it's VA, Social Aid, Section 8, sober living. There's tons of different grants that you can apply for in affordable housing space. So Lucy, thank you so much for jumping on here tonight. I'm super proud of you and your husband. Nasty perseverance. The conference this weekend, it was really powerful. And so, we're in this thing because we want to, continue to grow and opportunity to become that they've already helped other in their testimony and helping people to have the right perspective about the journey. I love that you use that word, because that is exactly what happens. Any last words that you would want to tell somebody who's on the fence, thinking about it, not sure? What last words would you tell them, Lucy?
If you don't make a change, then there's not going to be a change. So if you want to continue to be, if you think you want to do something different, of course the dog wants to start talking to two. If you want to do something different in your life, you have to make sure that you have people that's going to be in your corner, that's going to show you what you need to do next. So my husband and I were on the fence, and if we would have stayed with that stagnant mindset, or that, well, we'll do it next year, we'll do it in a month, we'll do it in a week, we wouldn't be in the place that we are in now. So I would say, if you're on the fence, go ahead and do it. Along the way, if things happen, you will have somebody in your corner. I guarantee. The experience that you're going to gain from being in this community is life-changing. So just go ahead and do it. Reach out, support. They're going to be there to hold your hand as much as you want or as less as you want, but it's going to be amazing. Come join us.
That's good. Lucy, listen, I'm proud of you and your thanks for jumping on here tonight. Everybody, thanks for getting on here. Make sure you join the community. Email support@esatified.com about all different packages that we offer.
all these millionaires on here tonight.
Yes,
Hey, beautiful people.
Yes, Lucy. All right, Liz, thanks so much. Everybody have a good night.